You played against like some of the best ever Australian teams, like sort of the team that Pez and I grew up in the late 90s. That was like the team, right? Now, did they abuse you at the beginning, or did you sort of get their respect in the end?
They probably did. But you see, my suggestion to Australians, young Australians, and even you guys are, if you're going to abuse from guy from subcontinent, go slow. That we'll be able to understand what you're saying. Yeah, we couldn't understand a word what they were saying. Well, it's all right. I remember I was batting with great Inzamam Haq in Sydney. He got 196 test match, and Warnie and I think Glenn McGrath and Steve Waugh were having a go at him. I picked up an Aussie accent by then a bit.
Yeah.
And I went up to Nzi. I said, don't get angry because they're having a go at you. He said, really? I have no idea what they're saying.
They even seemed to sledge like when they were batting as well. I mean, there's obviously the famous one at Hobart with Justin Langer. And then
apparently he fucking smashed it.
He fucking smashes it, right?
Yeah.
But you can hear it, like, remember live, like, I remember being about 12 or 13 or whatever, watching that and being like, oh, he smashed that.
Yeah, I know. No, he sent me a message the other day through Gideon, who did a great job with this, one of the best people I worked with, journalists I worked with. He said, please tell Waz, I fucking smashed it.
In Australia, like our dressing rooms at club cricket, like we're fascinated with bodies and with rigs.
Yeah.
Who you don't want to shower next to and all that kind of stuff. Can you paint a picture of like the Pakistani dressing room in the late 80s? Like, was there any sort of nude culture?
In Lancashire dressing room, when I joined the first time, we used to go in tracksuits in Pakistan team and come back in tracksuits and obviously have a shower in our rooms when we. But in Lancashire, first time I went there, my jacket, my tie, my white shirt, my chinos were there. I said, hang on a minute, what's this? He said, you have to come every morning in this. That was a big deal for me, and it was difficult.
Yeah.
But after the game, you have to have a shower there, communal shower. It was very new for me, and then put up your tie, jacket, and if you drink or don't drink, you go to the bar and have a drink if you want. Pick up a cold drink and, have chat with the opposition. Great culture it was. But first day, I remember then in Nottingham, they all just went freaking without any clothes. And I was looking at them being a 20-year-old, hang on a minute. I was shy. I said, that doesn't look very good. And then I went in to have a shower, obviously, but with my, underpants on. And they made fun of me. After a month, I said, fuck it. I just came off.
I know you've spoken extensively about your addiction with cocaine, and that's been a lot of takeaways from the book so far that's come out. I want to know what, and I understand you're sober now, so congratulations on your sobriety.
Yeah, thank you.
But I want to know how that started for you, because I know you are and were one of the most famous people in Asia, let alone Pakistan. But I believe it started in England.
Yeah, in England, at a party, somebody said, you want to try it? And I retired. I said, yeah, let's try it. And eventually one line became a gram, and then I came back to Pakistan. Nobody knew what it was, but it was available. And every party, and then I realized I couldn't function without it. It means I couldn't go out and socialize without it. And it got worse and worse and worse. And obviously, I was hurting. My kids were very young. I was hurting my late wife a lot. And then she said, you need help. We had a lot of arguments. It's a long story, but yeah, it's all in the book. But yeah, and then I said, okay, what help I can get? She said, there's a rehab here. Why don't you go there? I said, okay, I'll go there for a month. Although they kept me for 2.5 months against my will. Apparently, that's illegal in the world, but not in Pakistan. And that didn't help me, actually. When I came out, that rebellion came into me that it was my money against my will. I stayed in that horrible place because I had an image of when you see Western movies, you see those rehabs, even in Australia, beautiful lawns and people will give you lectures. You do go to a gym. And I went to a place with a corridor and 8 rooms. That's it. And it was very, very tough. It was a horrible time. And then obviously the tragedy with my wife when she passing away. And I had too much on my plate. And back of my mind, I wanted to get out of it. I wanted to get out of it because I knew I'm on the wrong path. When you know you're on the wrong path, but sometimes you need, I think the biggest sacrifice she did for me that, and then two young boys, 7 and 10. And, in our culture as a dad, in Australia, Western culture, dad is involved 50-50, wake up in the morning. If the kid is young, drop school, pick school, change clothes. We never do that. It's wife's turn, and our job is to go and work and raise funds for the kids' money. And I was lost for 2 years. What to do, how to raise them. I never knew that you have to buy clothes. I never knew what they eat. I didn't know every class. I have to go to parent-teacher meetings. I have to be friendly with their friends' parents, play dates. And then I have to move city. But I believe, I must say, every parent around my kids, who were their friends, they really helped. Where as much as they can, they help. They said, okay, bring the boy at my place and leave them for a couple of hours, take the other boy to their place. Then I moved to Karachi. That was a big deal as well. I moved with the two kids and this guy, Abbas, who worked with me for 20 years. I mean, credit to him. I think I wrote about him in the book in detail. He was a rock to me. Then I moved to Karachi because my in-laws were there. And renting a new house from scratch, lived in one bedroom at my wife's uncle's place, 3 or 4 of us, found a new school. And after 3-4 years, obviously, credit to Shanira, my wife now, I being introduced to her in Melbourne, and then she took over when we got married. But yeah, 2-3 years were very, very tough.
Yeah. The reason I don't want to harp on it because I'm sure it's a very dark time in your life, but a lot of our audience are young people, and there's definitely an explosion of cocaine across the world now. And I think a lot of people will really relate to what you said at the beginning there, where they felt like they need it. They felt like they needed to socialize. Yeah.
In the beginning, you say, okay, a couple of lines, I'll be fine.
Right.
And then if every weekend you're doing it, a couple of lines go to 4 lines.
Right.
And then it goes. And I think my, I suppose, advice to this young generation is what matters is the company. If your company is like this, you're bound to get into it. Very few can get out of it. Right. So make sure you're in the right company around you, people around you who have good work ethics. If your friends are doing bugger all or fuck all, then you'll be doing exactly the same eventually. So make sure your friends have good ethics. I'm not saying they should be rich. They should have at least a job, 9-to-5 job or whatever. But if a guy who's not doing anything all his life, how will he motivate you? How can he or she motivate you? This is as simple. That's what I've learned.
I was listening to an interview you did with Osman Samuddin from Cricinfo about this book, and he opened by contrasting Western culture of speaking quite openly about problems with culture in Pakistan. I just wonder whether it's talking about addiction or tragedy or match fixing, which we haven't talked about, things that would be regarded as quite controversial and whatever. How that experience has been for you, putting it into the book. Has it been cathartic? Has it helped you? Like, what's it been like putting a memoir together and putting all this stuff down?
Both a bit. It was daunting to revisit these incidents. And then I think now, once the book is out now, we haven't reached Pakistan yet, it will. But a chapter is closed in our culture, we tend to hide things. That's the culture, not just Pakistan, subcontinent culture. You hide things like this. I remember when I got diagnosed as diabetic, I wanted to come out with it. My wife, Homa, said yes, but all my people around me, no, don't come out with it. This will happen. The sponsors will run away. I said, if I can motivate diabetics worldwide, why should I hide? In our part of the world, if a girl, unfortunately, is diabetic, people might not marry her. That's why they keep it quiet. They think if she's diabetic, the husband will get diabetic. Wrong. If she's diabetic, the kids will born diabetic. Wrong. So not without knowing, I'm all for culture, but as long as your culture evolves you. So this was tough to come out with it, but I'm glad I came out with it. And if at my age, what I've learned, if I haven't done anything wrong, if I'm not doing anything wrong, apart from Almighty, I'm not scared of anyone. I really don't care anymore.